All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome to He's on Fire podcast. Now, I know I'm supposed to always be Arizona everything, but today we're very excited for them to get into the college football playoff. Really exciting time. What is going on, Roy? But you know what? We need to talk a lot about the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears game. We're also going to preview the Phoenix Suns, San Antonio Spurs. Arizona State basketball actually did a little something today, which surprised me, getting the W over Oregon. But we're going to go all over all this stuff. We're going to look into the week ahead. He's on Fire podcast. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Let's go.
Urbandici sets, looks up, and it is caught! Down strong! It's coming, Matthews, Palmer extending the play, crosses the field, Larry Fitzgerald. If he scores, it's over. It's insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down! He puts it down! They're getting a little wobbly. The downfield shot on you. The foot race. They won't get it. Center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions.
Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. It's a little bit weird on the sports front, I got to admit, but I'm very happy to be back with you guys, and of course, joined by the fellow co-host, Amit. How are we doing today?
Doing good. Kind of a boring Sunday of football. Even the Cardinals game was a little bit boring, but it's exciting to win, right?
Hey, bad football is better than no football. And if the pandemic has taught me anything, it's enjoy curling even, right?
Yes.
Jay, we are having some video issues with Jay, but are you still here with us, my man?
Yes, I am, Evan. Yes.
How are we doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. Cardinals first team to 10 wins this season. Like Kyler, working off some rust, but he looked good for the most part. D-Hop, he doesn't need hamstrings. He looks great. And Golden State lost to the Spurs. We're good right now. Fine, huh?
Yes, we are. You're still breaking up just a little bit there, but we'll try to power through it. I know the tag says that we have John Voita, Darth Voita, coming in from Suns Jam Session. Unfortunately, he has yet to respond. So usually a very punctual guy. I know he'll make it up to us, and I just hope he's okay at this point because we talked about it recently, and he was all about to come on. So hope you're all right, Darth. If you're listening or hear this, just jump on anytime and we'll bring you in. But real quick, wanted to get into before we got lost in the game today. The Arizona State Sun Devils are going to a bowl game. They are going to the Vegas Bowl against Wisconsin. Anybody that knows anything about the Arizona State Wisconsin, not really rivalry, but the past couple games, knows it is going to be an amazing game because back in 2010, there was a crazy game up there in Wisconsin where Arizona State had so many calls go against them, a ridiculous amount. We had one for sure return touchdown from a special teams kick, a second one that I swear to this day looked like he made it, would have been a game changer. They called it back, and then the return game here in Tempe, and I believe it was 2013 or 14, you had the quarterback kneeling down, but they weren't sure if he knelt down. The clock kept running, a lot of confusion, and all of a sudden we won the game when they should have spotted it, spiked it, kicked a field goal to win. Nobody knew what was going on. No challenges left, and Arizona State goes on to win. And that's one of their 10-win seasons that they had in the past 10 years. So this is going to be a good game. I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, we've got our top 4 in college football, right? We got Bama versus Cincinnati, and then we got Michigan, go blue, versus Georgia. A lot of good games coming up. We got bowl season coming up, which brings me to our next point. We are going to be hosting a bowl pick'em challenge, and we want everybody that listens to the podcast to come on and share this with us. When I last looked, it looked like we could have as many people that we wanted in it. I'd love to get 10, 15, 20 people involved. So go ahead and share this out. It's going to be either a $10 or a $20 buy-in. I want people to be able to afford it and also have fun. It is Christmas season, but it will be winner take all. Absolutely no second place in this shit. Nope. Winner take all. So we're going to be doing Bowl Pick'em through ESPN. And if you guys want in, go and send us a DM on He's on Fire podcast or one of the co-hosts here, and we will get you in. It's going to be a fun bowl season. But we got to get to what happened today. The Arizona Cardinals beat the Chicago Bears 33-22 in a game that just felt lackluster. Amit, is that how you would describe it?
What I would say is that the Cardinals came out with the downright disrespectful game plan. There's like, we're gonna play zone. We're gonna let you throw picks, and we're just gonna run the. Kyler only threw the ball 15 times this game, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like they did not. I mean, they did not give. The weather was a factor, but that went both ways for both teams. I mean, it wasn't one of those things where
and Andy threw it for 41 times.
Exactly. Yeah. And like if you guys remember that Patriots game where we went up there the Super Bowl season, we go up to Foxborough, it's snowing, and they drop 55 or 56 on us, and we get like one touchdown from Matt Leinart late. We just showed up and we're like, yeah, it's too cold, we're not playing today. It wasn't those games because this team was like, yeah, we're not really going to game plan too much. We're going to keep it really simple, and I think that's really Cliff keeping everything close to the vest, close, whatever they say, close to the chest, close to the vest, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think he's keeping it close. I don't think he's trying to show too much, especially with Kyler just coming back. They did do some gadget plays that some worked, some didn't work, but it was all short passes. That touchdown throw to Hopkins, was that a touchdown, guys? I still can't
call it one. It was a touchdown.
They called it, but
he had full control, and the ball went over the cylinder or the pylon.
Absolutely.
But his first foot when he caught it, or it was he didn't have control. So when I watched it like just real time, I'm like, that wasn't a touchdown. But then they called it one and they couldn't overturn it. So I mean, I guess it is what it is, right?
I'm gonna
to
look
me,
it up.
I thought it was a TD
live.
Because it seemed like right when he puts that first foot down, it looks like he has control. And then when he went over the pylon, it seemed like he had control the whole time. But I don't know. The NFL is weird with what they decide what a catch is.
I don't know. I still don't know. Ever since that Dez Bryant playing the playoffs, I have no idea what a catch is. But that was 4th and 2, dude. Like that was like that was so disrespectful. Like I don't know. Like I just there wasn't really too many like remarkable plays in this game. It seemed like everything was pretty simple, except for the defense. See, I don't see it catch.
I mean,
the fact that he was hanging on to his face mask. He has control. He has a.
He never got to the second foot there. I mean, whatever, man. Whatever. That wasn't the deciding factor in the game. So it was 4 interceptions.
Yeah, that definitely was not the deciding factor of this game. This game was clearly won on the defensive end by the Arizona Cardinals, and that's exactly what you wanted to see in this game. You didn't want Kyler to have to go out and do 1,000,001 different types of things, throw 30 times, especially in this weather, that field. D-Hop was rarely on the field really after that first play. He had one other catch for 12 yards, or maybe Forget how he only ended with 2 catches for 32 yards. That's good. Keep him nice, keep him clean. He didn't come up limping or anything, which is what I was worried about. And it was on the right side. If you guys notice, he's not playing on the left side. It was actually on the right side. Another beautiful little wrinkle by Cliff Kingsbury. So the defense, 4 interceptions. First one by Jalen Thompson. Then it was Buda Baker. And then it was help me out. I just had his name. Who got the No, he had the 4th one. Who had the 3rd interception? Byron Murphy. I just had
Byron
Murphy. Byron Murphy. Then that beautiful one by Zach Allen. I wish he could have gotten in the end zone on that. But that's what this game was won by. Jay, what did you see from this game?
My name today is 10K Kyler, 4th youngest player to reach 10,000 career passing yards. So that's a big accomplishment and showing that what he's been able to do the last 3 seasons, and with him hurt too in that process and putting up those numbers as well. So shouts out to him. But this was all defense today, man. Like we still can't stop the run. I don't know what it is, but as soon as Dalton tried throwing the ball, it was an interception every time. So they really relied on Montgomery and who's the other one? The other running back?
I don't remember it.
I have it up right here. Hold on a second.
But the other thing in this game too with the defense was that there was they had those 4 disaster plays and some other sacks and thing, but there was like several plays where like if somebody would have gotten their hand on the ball or if a player just would have got there a little bit quicker, it would have been like disastrous for them. Like really, like that's why they scored 22 points. Because there was just like that one throw where it was down the sideline. Andy Dalton hit some dude. The guy.
Yeah, that was a nice play.
Buda Baker. What's that?
That was a nice play.
Yeah, but Buda Baker jumped in front. He almost jumped the pass. I think it was Buda. Somebody jumped it, right? Like it was. There was like 4 or 5 of those plays where it was so close to being a full disaster for them.
But one of the touchdown plays that went over Jordan Hicks's hand, like just barely went over. Like that was a 4th. Wasn't that a 4th down play too? So they were close to not even making it a game as well too. That last touchdown and 2-point conversion, I really don't even take into account because it was 33-14. We were on cruise control at that point. Kind of whatever. That's my
garbage time.
Am I wrong there?
No, you're right. It's garbage time. It's just disappointing when the team has been holding teams under 20 points for basically the entire season.
You're spoiled.
I know we're spoiled, and they still won by double digits. They still covered the spread. They still are 7-0 on the road, so it's like we're nitpicking at this point. But there is one thing that I'm still concerned about, and I hope it doesn't play a part in an actual moment that matters in weather, is the long snapper situation.
Yes.
Because, again, we had another problem with kicking.
Yes. That is an absolute fair assessment. Thank you for bringing that up. I don't know. I've never played that position in high school or anything like that. I don't know what goes into it, but you would think at this level, something that I don't want to say minute or elementary, but you would think they would be able to get that down pat. Yeah. Especially if you're a veteran in this league going into this type of game. So here's some things. You guys know I'm a big time of possession person. I'm all about how many plays. I'm about time of possession. This is fun. Total plays for the Arizona Cardinals, 51. Chicago Bears, 71. Time of possession for the Bears, almost 35 minutes. Time of possession for the Cardinals, about 25 minutes. If I gave you just those stats and I included the fact that the Bears had about 80 yards more of offense and I told you the score, you'd be like, what the hell happened, right?
Yeah.
4 picks.
4 picks. And we had another fumble, by the way, that went our way. Another fumble that Kyler dropped, didn't put it into the gut. And it sounded like on the broadcast, they said that's just one of those things. When you don't play for 4 or 5 weeks, you kind of just lose. You lose that momentum. You don't quite put it all the way in the gut, and you just kind of biff on that. Do you guys have any thoughts on the turnover situation, the 4 interceptions, but also what is that number 20 fumble on the season?
I mean, the fumble was, it was one of those ones. It's easier to recover than somebody dropping it like on an actual like play out in the field on space. But I mean, if I was any team and you told me even if the Cardinals, if like you said Andy Dalton was the backup quarterback, I'd be so disappointed because I'd be like, man, this guy, he's going to play because he always ends up playing somewhere. And he's just, I don't know what happened, because he had a really good run in Cincy, even though he wasn't great, but he was good enough, right, for a while.
Yeah.
But he had AJ Green and he was younger, and maybe, people didn't figure him out, but he's
Had a good
deteriorated to the
defense
point
then
where,
too.
and they had a really good defense, and he's deteriorated to the point where I'm like, I don't want him anywhere near anything that I like.
You saw it last year in Dallas when we played Dallas. He looked horrible. I mean, granted, that was their first game after the Dak injury, but he looked horrible. Absolutely horrible. I completely agree. Jay, give me some more of your takes on this game. It feels like we're missing a lot, but at the same time, we aren't talk to us about your boy James Conner.
Man, James Conner today, dude. Like we talked on the last pod about the fucking Lions. We'll get into that in a second, but
Lions beating the Vikings. Good job, boys.
Last pod we talked about what we wanted to see from this game. A couple of deep balls from Kyler, to play the short game and then just running it. And using screen for James Conner and stuff, and that's kind of exactly how it went down today. And James Conner was just eating like per usual, and dude's a fucking beast, man. And what he's doing right now is really sustainable. It's not like he's breaking out, going like Derrick Henry style and stuff. And he's doing enough to make an impact every time he touches the ball. And that one-handed pass, that one-handed catch was ridiculous. And I thought he dropped it. And I thought he was.
I thought it went out of bounds. I was watching it. I had a little bit of delay in my video, and I thought it went out of bounds. I thought Kyler threw it away, but he threw it in the perfect spot where he could just turn and just run right in the end zone.
Yeah, and he just like headed for the hills and like hit that corner, and like he even took the guy out that was trying to tackle him too, and he barely flinched. Like he's just a beast, man. And he had a couple good runs as well. But yeah, this rain is a pain in the ass. Jay Ness, what's going on, feller?
What's
in
up,
the house?
Hey, what's up, boys? How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? Welcome. How's it been?
Oh, it's going good, especially after that victory. I mean, man.
Yes, sir. But,
I heard you guys talking real quick. I heard you guys talking about the fumble. I think it was just the fumble from Kyler. I think it just had a lot to do with just the way he came in. The rust, definitely, but also with the rain, the ball slippery. It was the first quarter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that had a lot to do with it, because when they did get going, Kyler looked rested to me.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah, for sure.
He looked ready to go. I wasn't worried about anything. His movements looked good. Everything just looked clean with him, except the one fumble. But I mean, because it's like number 20 on the season, it's definitely something we need to talk about. Number 20, but we've only lost like 3 or something ridiculous.
I think it's 4, yeah.
4?
Yeah, I mean, he was running full sprint. Like all those runs, like he wasn't holding back. He looked like a healthy Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
definitely.
And it brings a whole nother element to this team. We saw Colt McCoy. I mean, you guys have seen what mobile quarterbacks can do, what they can and can't do, right? You have a guy like Colt McCoy who's mobile enough to make a couple scramble plays, and you're like, okay, let's go. But when you bring a guy like Kyler Murray into that dynamic, it just doesn't even add up. I will give props to Roquan Smith, though. He was able to outrun him on one play, going sideline to sideline.
Oh, yeah.
That was really impressive. If a linebacker or a big dude like that can keep up with
He's a
Kyler,
big dude. And granted, he had that angle from the beginning, but man, because Kyler turned it on when he seen it, he had the angle. He's like, oh, okay, it's a race. And he turned it on, but man, that dude is quick.
Well, he thought he was going to slow up when he hesitated, and he was.
He closed that gap real quick.
You're not getting the corner.
He should have cut back on him. He wouldn't have been able to stop that momentum. That train would have kept on going out of bounds.
Yeah, but Kyler, he tried to do his little stutter step, but he just kept going.
Because if he cuts it back, like, he knows how to preserve his body. That's the one thing about him that I love, is that he knows, like, if I try to cut it back inside and I can't slide, like, it's not worth it. I'll just get down.
That's how he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he hit his shoulder on the ground too on that fall, I was like, I was waiting for him to get up for a second. I'm like, but
I didn't see that one. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, he hit the ground kind of hard. but he got up.
But
right away.
that first touchdown though, when there was like 4 Bengals right there, and I was like, oh, I had my heart stop. I'm like, are they gonna try and lay him out? And they all stopped for some reason. Like I think he like pump faked him or something. He like did something, and they were just like, oh.
They were afraid that this was gonna happen.
I knew you were gonna bring this up. I
don't know if you guys saw this. Amit, tell me you saw
fucking
this.
nasty.
I didn't see this.
The fake slide.
Uh-oh.
So
this was the best run by any QB. I don't care.
So you agree with it?
With what?
It goes deeper
with
than
the fake slide.
There's a lot to talk about.
I'm on board with it.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with it because it hasn't happened enough to where it's a problem, and not like these older QBs cannot do that. Like that's an ACL injury waiting to happen. So
yeah, you watch the replay and you watch when he stops, how much pressure was put on that left plant leg to make that cut, and you're just like, whoa. Phoenix 602, thanks for coming in. Unfortunately, Darth is kind of a little on the MIA right now. He said he was going to come in with us. He was ready to go. Talked to him yesterday. And I just haven't heard from him today. So we hope he's okay. We're not 100% sure, but we know he's going to make it up to us. He'll definitely make it up. But when we go back, I'll make sure I take this tag off as well too when we post it online. So thanks for tuning in, PHX 602. We appreciate you though. Sorry about false advertisement here. It must be a mix up of communication potentially.
Next episode, Kyle Murray's on. So.
Still hasn't DM'd me back. So. Yeah. It's all good, but no, that was clean. But we were talking about James Conner. I have said for the longest time what we have always needed was a ground and pounded dude, somebody like a LeGarrette Blount, and then lo and behold, we get that guy, and he is everything and more. And next week we're getting back Chase Edmonds.
Oh, that is right.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I hope we do not start seeing DNPs from these. I even though he's not doing much, I just don't want him to start getting DNPs again. As much as I'm gonna love Chase coming back and having Chase and James on there, I just like getting these 1 or 2 touches, being able to get that touch and that feel for the game. Because man, I think next year he's gonna be a guy he's gonna be a guy we're gonna count on because we can't keep James and Chase.
No, and Chase has proven that he has been injury prone. Unfortunately, he had that 4 touchdown game. What was it, last year, the year before? And he just looked explosive, hurts himself the very next game. This year, kind of the same thing. And he only has 1 touchdown. So it's not like we're missing production, unfortunately. And it's not like he's adding a whole bunch to the point where we can't live without him either. And we've been able to survive. We're going to want a 3rd running back still. If we go that route, we're going to need one. But can he add something to this mix, Amit? Can Chase Edmonds coming back really add something even more to this offense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we know because if you put him on the field with Rondale Moore, there's a lot of gadget stuff you can do, just like misdirection things with those 2 guys, the way that they play in the flat, and they're just they swing around. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with those guys together, right? Otherwise, maybe there's some redundancy if you're looking at like long term. But I mean, it's better to have more weapons than not, right? Especially if somebody else gets hurt. So if he's coming back, that's a good thing.
I completely agree. And Boom Shakalaka, thanks for coming on. That's actually quite perfect that you've joined.
Boom Shakalaka.
Because we got that drop for you right there. But we haven't heard from Darth today. He was all about it the last day or so, especially after I was on some jam session. We just haven't heard from him today, and we hope he's okay. So we'll take the tag off, but we appreciate you coming by, and he will make it up to us shortly. Jay Ness, Chase Edmonds, Eno Benjamin, and James Conner. Do you think Chase can add quite a few things to us, or have we seen what we've seen so far? Oh, you're muted, bro.
No. Don't get me wrong. Chase Edmonds coming back is such a beautiful thing for these Arizona Cardinals. It changes the dynamic of that backfield. It brings back that 1-2 punch that we got James Conner in here for. And it really adds another element that we're really missing, because there's certain runs that, let's be honest, James Conner is not going to be doing that Chase Edmonds is going to specialize in, and he's going to exceed in. And there's a lot of outside pitches. There's a lot of, off tackle plays that Chase Edmonds is going to exceed in. So again, bringing him in, and then the receiving element of sliding that running back out of the backfield into the slot on them, those type of things, that it's really big for him. So bringing Chase Edmonds back, I'm loving it. Again, I just don't want to see DMPs with Eno.
I agree, and let's not forget this. A lot of people were worried about James Conner breaking down at the end of the season. Well, this gives James Conner a chance, and especially with Eno Benjamin too, you could sit him for a drive or two. He could sit in a drive in the second quarter, third quarter, whatever it is, keep him nice and fresh and healthy for those goal line, short to go situations and the fourth quarter. That's something to bring around. JJ, did you have anything more you wanted to add to your boy James Conner other than you want to buy his jersey?
Like with Chase Edmonds coming back, that's definitely a huge plus. But for us to bring all three back, if Connor keeps on playing the way that he is right now, he's going to get that bag, and he definitely deserves it. But Chase Edmonds has to be open to the idea of taking a pay cut, possibly just because of how injury prone he is. With Benjamin not being too far behind of Chase, it's just something to consider. I don't want to say running backs are disposable, but there's 1,000,001 that you can pick from, and you just got to roll the dice sometimes. And I like Chase. I really do. I think he when he has the touches, he can do a lot, but it's just something to consider. And I think Steve Keim would definitely look into that, because he's batting 1,000 right now. But the pickup with Connor, it's just working out beautifully, and I just hope Connor stays healthy for the rest of the season. And
to kind of add on your point, JJ, we already have sitting there who has a very similar skill set to Chase. So I agree with you, man.
Exactly.
And I had one point. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I asked the question: Is James Conner a Pro Bowler? I was looking at the NFC. If you look at the rushing leaders, are all in the AFC. The only people ahead of him, what was it here? Zeke, Antonio Gibson, and Dalvin Cook. And those guys don't have nearly the impact that James Conner does, especially from the receiving side. Yeah. Conner's is legitimate Pro Bowler, right? Like, he's going to make the Pro Bowl this year.
Isn't he? Is he still number one in touchdowns?
Yes,
he is.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
What are we talking about then?
I mean, but we're talking about like 200 yards difference in rushing. I haven't looked at the receiving, but
let's be honest. I mean, he was really not touching the ball like this until week 4-ish. He still really started getting fed the ball and actually put into more of a primary rushing role, because before the first 2 or 3 weeks, we legitimately saw him in the goal line sets or short yardage, 1 or 2 yard packages. That's what we seen from James Conner in the beginning for those first 2 weeks. So, I mean, to your point, him leading the league in touchdowns and to only be 200 yards behind after really taking a break for the first week or 4 weeks or being limited.
That is kind of crazy when you think about it.
That's an amazing point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. These other running backs are to step
NFC
up.
Specifically, though, because there's AFC runners that have 1,200 yards. So just to be clear,
yes,
he's like halfway.
I mean,
yeah.
There's King Henry's over there.
Yeah,
even though he's hurt, he was like 300 yards ahead of everybody when he went down.
No, Connor is he's going to be a brawler this year, just because of his touchdowns alone. So you can't really exclude somebody doing that, plus having the record that we do.
And I bet you a dude like Zeke is going to be like, no, I don't want to play. And then if nothing else, he's probably going to be the top substitute, or more injuries happen. You never know.
Is Zeke even having a good season?
No, not in my estimation. And I live with a Cowboys fan.
Right.
But that's just me. So overall, things to talk about, good things. Kyler's back, D-Hop back. Still waiting on Justin Pugh coming to really bolster that offensive line. The next big thing is going to be Monday Night Football against the Rams.
Yes, sir.
That is going to be, it's not a barometer for us as Cardinals fans. It is for the national media. They're going to be all eyes on this game, watching this. How are we going to be able to handle it? And if we go out there and we smack them like we did before, what's going to be the national agenda then? We're still not getting the respect that we deserve, much like the Phoenix Suns, and we can talk about that later. But if we lose this game, are we going to be called frauds again and all that stuff? What I'm getting at, is this a very, very important game for our season? Or is it... I don't know. I'm having a hard time digesting this. Amit, pick me up a little bit. Is this a hella important game for us, or is it more for the national media and them?
I think it's an important game, but I don't think we have to win it. I think it's more important from the fact that we just have a lot of crappy opponents that we've been playing, and we need to play like a quality team. I don't know how quality they are, but a quality team on the road, where Kyler's already 6-0 in that stadium in his career. It'd be nice to see him put up another dub there. And then,
it's home though.
What's that? It's his home. Yeah. I mean, you could go on Wikipedia. I'm sure it is Kyler. He owns that.
No, I'm saying this game is at that home. Were you referencing the Rams game or?
Oh, was it? Oh, the Cowboys game's at home.
Oh, no.
Okay.
This game against the Rams I'm talking about is home.
Yeah, Rams game. Oh, I mean, I was thinking ahead to the Cowboys. Rams. Yeah, that's an important game.
Oh,
I think it's a division game. So we definitely need to win. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. I think it's more important that we stay ahead of Green Bay, considering that they have the tiebreaker on us. But also at the same time, they have some tough games coming up as well. So it's not just we have to win out, like they have to win out too. So and expect us, and they have to hope that we lose. So yeah, I mean, I'm. It's funny. Like this week was boring because I'm watching the game and I had zero worry at all that we were going to lose to the Bears. Like zero. Like when it was 24-14 or whatever, I'm just like, okay, whatever. They're going to make it a little interesting. Maybe I know the Cardinals still going to cover. That was the whole thing. Are they still going to cover or not? That was my thing because the point spread was 7.5. So, I think we still need to be locked in. We need to get that bye. We need to play through week 17. If that means starters play the first half, whatever that means. I mean, we just need to keep that momentum going because this team is on a roll, man. We cannot break this.
Absolutely. Jane S, Rams, Cardinals, Monday Night Football, which I'll be attending. I absolutely can't wait. I'm stoked to watch that game. Is this game more for... is this a prove it game? Is this shut the national media up? What is this game on Monday night? What is it going to mean to us, the media, everything? You're muted.
I'm always muted, Coach. I'm always muted. This is one of those games, Coach, where to me this is a huge game for us, and in a different element than a game that we have to win. This game, we need to do two things. We need to be very competitive, and we need to get out of here without injuries. And if we do those two things, regardless of how the game ends, we're good. Because we're probably going to see the Rams in the playoffs. Unless the Rams completely fall apart, they're going to be a wild card team. They're going to make it in. And I predict we'll probably see them in the playoffs. And as long as we're competitive and we stay in the mix with them during this game, and we kind of don't show all of our cards, because that's another thing I felt like the Cardinals did a lot last year, to where even if we would have made the playoffs last year, I think the tricks were out the bag already. And I really feel like this year, because we have, like a la today, we went up 14 right away, and we didn't have to pull out all these major tricks or anything, or all these plays that I know Cliff has up his sleeve. and show those cards. So that's one thing I love about this season that's going so far is we're not having to do anything extra. We're really not put in, even when we're put in positions that, we have to overcome. It's nothing that's super crazy. Like last year, we had to do the Hail Mary in Buffalo and things like that. So I really think this is a big game, but it's in different ways. We need to stay competitive. We need to take it down to the wire, but we need to get out of here without injuries.
I agree. JJ, your take on the Monday Night Football Rams and Cardinals game. Is it a big game? Do we need to put them away? Are you not worried even if we lose? We do have we're 2 games up right now on them, and we have the tiebreaker, so you can almost count that as a third game. This would break their back though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is a statement game, like we don't know if the Rams have been cute or just not caring about these last games. They were all lost November, like they lost like 4 straight. And yeah, they beat the Jags tonight, but like you should, and like it's just a statement game, like we completely take the division over, and our last division game is against Seattle, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so like it wouldn't even matter. But yeah, for the national consensus, this is a statement game for sure, because the Rams were just about everybody's favorites to win the Super Bowl. And I can speak for me and Ahmed, like we picked the Rams in the beginning of the season to probably make the Super Bowl. And yeah, you too. Like they've just underachieved, and they've just been like terrible as of late. So like we can really punch them in the mouth and like go 11-2, be up, and just really be on cruise control. Because if you look at the rest of our schedule, it's not concerning if you want to look at it that way. Maybe the Cowboys, maybe,
yeah.
But like Green Bay had an easy front 7, like first like 7-8 games, and now they're on like the harder side of their schedule now. And we started on the hard side. Now we're kind of going into the easy part. So we can secure this first round bye. We can start, resting guys a little bit, like have Kyler play less, and we can just really really secure our position. But I think tomorrow, Monday night will be a must win. As of right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to that game as well. So me and Evan will probably meet there for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see you guys at the lawn.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that Monday night game, it's definitely a must win. It's bragging rights. It's like we have control of the NFC. The Buck, it will really be the Green Bay and Bucks duking it out, and we're just chilling at first. So.
It's important to get that bye too, because you don't want to be going. We've said this. We don't want to go up to Green Bay and play in the snow. I mean, we've proven now that we can do it in bad weather. I get that. We don't want to have to do it. I would rather play the 4th best division opponent, or which at this point it would probably be Dallas. So if you ask me what I want to do against Dallas, man, rest everybody. I don't want to show them anything, because we'll probably play Dallas, and we will probably see Tampa and Green Bay duke it out together.
Mike McCarthy is
at Green
Bay.
Let me add this.
We can show him our cards, and he won't do anything.
The Rams, and this is why I emphasize, we have to get out of here without injuries, because the Rams are going to be playing for their season. This is more important for the Rams than it is for us.
The Niners can catch up to them.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the end of their schedule, we're the biggest game they have left besides the Ravens.
Yep.
We're the biggest game they have left. So they have to win this game. So, and then they play San Francisco to close the year out. But they have to win this game. This is bigger for the Rams than it is for us. So I really think when we put those type of situations on, those type of particulars in it, that's when teams like ourselves get in predicaments where we get injured, because the other team's playing for their season.
And
100%.
listen, man. I don't want to come out of Monday night and have everybody on OBJ's nuts, on Von Miller. That's the kind of thing I don't want to see happen. Similar
what
to
you're gonna
when
hear.
Golden State beat us, right? No, similar to when Golden State beat us. But look at the Rams wins. They beat Chicago in week 1. That's when Chicago was still trash. I mean, they have been, but Chicago had a little bit of an up later on in the season. They beat the Colts at the Colts only by 3 points.
Mhm.
They beat the Buccaneers. That was a good win. Week 3, beat
That
the
was a
Bucks.
good win.
Good win. Great.
They looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they did.
then what happened very next week? We went in there and punched them in the mouth. What happened after that? They beat the Seahawks. Seahawks are no good. They beat the Giants. The Giants are no good. They beat the Lions. The Lions are no good. They beat the Texans. 4 straight wins against trash teams. Lose to the Titans. Lose to the Niners. Lose to the Packers. And then you beat the Jags. This is huge for them. Jay Ness, we have a little inquiry here about where they can find us on TV, and ASAP Sports just had a kind of a big thing happen. Can you explain to everybody what the changes that we're going through and how we're growing?
Man, we're growing rapidly. So you can find us right now, Roku TV under ASAP Network. We're also on VivaLiveTV.com as well. We're channel 598. So 598 on VivaLiveTV.com. We're also, just another announcement out there. Check us out on there. We do have a Kansas City Chiefs reporter, Darren Smith, that just came over to the network. So after Kansas City Chief games, we'll have the live presser on there. So if you want to tune in to the live presser, channel 598, again, Viva Live TV, channel 598, or Roku ASAP Network.
Yeah. ASAP Network. We are doing big things. We're getting bigger and bigger. You and I were discussing some things as well earlier today, and I can't wait to see what goes on. We got to get Freddie on here sometime though. Freddie, if you're still watching, I'd love to get you on.
Hey,
I have a
just
lot
a
to say
warning to
about
the viewers.
a Cowboys Lakers fan.
Yeah, just a warning to the viewers. This Laker fan gets on here, I need you guys to give it to him.
We talk a lot of shit if anybody doesn't know.
Because he go talk a lot too.
We'll let him know.
So basically, Cardinals 10-2, still don't get the respect, even though we are clearly the best team in the league. And we have a big matchup on Monday Night Football in Week 14, or is it Week 13 that's going to be coming up? I believe it's 13, if I'm not mistaken.
14.
Week 14. Week
We're
14 Monday Night
right
Football.
now.
You get a big win, and this kind of cements our season, our legacy of this season. You get this win with that kind of publicity, considering it'll only be our number 3 live game, national media. The next one obviously is going to be Christmas against the Colts. That'll be a lot of fun, but this is the one I'd really like to get. But we need to go to the defending Western Conference champion Phoenix Suns. And I've talked to these guys about it, and none of us really cared that we're going to lose to the Warriors after a back-to-back, man. It's a back-to-back. Look what the Warriors just did. But do you hold a lot of stock, JNS, into losing that game, or was that just no book, back-to-back, on to the next one?
There's a couple elements here, Coach. There's a couple elements. Was 18 was the record breaker, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And when you set out to do something and you set that marker in your head and you got that mental resilience, and you just, no matter what goes on, you need to make that marker. And I felt like towards 13 and 14, that switch turned on. And then once they got to about 16, it really anchored in. I just felt it those last 2 or 3 games. They didn't want to really talk about it, but I really felt it. And, so when they got that 18th, remember, bro, they went through Brooklyn and Golden State to close
Brooklyn.
that at Brooklyn and Golden State to close out 18 games.
Off a back-to-back, which we just played New York the night before.
And the Knicks in the middle.
And New
too.
York. Oh, and New York. So I don't care about your little rinky dink, back to back, no Devin Booker. Chris Paul is like, man, I'm tired. If Booker was here, I probably wouldn't play tonight. Like it. Let's be honest. Booker probably. I mean, Chris Paul was like on the phone with Booker on the way over there. Man, if you sure you can't play. Come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you look at it like that, I don't. Golden State take it. And that whole jumping around and all those man, they were way too excited. Way too excited after the win too. And that made me mad personally because Booker's over there chilling. He got his gold chains on. You know, he over there chilling. So that part upset me. So no, it wasn't no big deal.
Ahmet, I want to get your take about this. You live in California. You're probably around more Warriors fans than I am. When we lost that game, and exactly what Jay said, which reminded me a lot of the Lakers and the all that crap. What was your initial thought of that, Ahmet?
I mean, I already knew we were going to lose that game. I had a feeling just going in because we had snapped that streak extended that streak and set a record. Because I remember hearing Chris Bosh talk about it when the Heat won 27 in a row a few years, a decade ago or whenever it was. And they were so focused on getting that 34th win that it almost took everything out of that team. Like they were actually not excited, but relieved that they lost because they're like, now we can just focus on getting back to trying to win a championship, not focusing on extending this streak and trying to like extend guys, beyond what they need to do in the regular season. Like you're already in first place. Right. So for me, it's like, that streak, we're going to have another streak. I guarantee you, we're going to have another 10-game streak this season.
12. Go 12.
12. Sure. Whatever. Let's do over or under 11.5. Right. We're going to have a couple streaks this season. I think we had 3 or 4 last year where they were at least like, we had 1 8 game and a couple other like 6 or 7 game streaks. So I'm not concerned, man. This team is cruising. Like we've said, like, I just want them to stay healthy. I just want to see Ayton get the ball more. I think this is a time to experiment with who's going to be the third scorer on this team when we get in the playoffs.
Good point.
Because that's the missing point. It's either Mikal or it's Ayton. Ayton's hands have to improve. He just continues to either drop the ball or dribble into someone stealing it from him. Like those things got to be fixed. This is a time to fix it. Let's give him touches. He had a lot of touches in that game. So I'm not worried, man. I'm sure I haven't seen the line yet, but I'm guessing the line against the Spurs is probably like -6, even though they've won 4 in a row. But yeah, I'm not concerned.
What about you, JJ?
You guys mind if I go on a little tangent rant a little bit?
Not at all. Take the floor.
Okay. Okay. So first Golden State game, we did everything that we were supposed to do, like right down to the fucking wire, like right down to the T. We executed in every way possible. We made Curry look like shit. Okay. That's just what it was, like he was, like the shots he was taking were ones that he usually makes, but they're still bad shot attempts. Like you don't want to take it from the logo before the middle logo. You don't want to take it from all the way. You don't want to take it like 7 feet behind the 3. Like that's just not a good shot. Just in general, I don't care who you are, But like Mikal lockdown Steph, and that's that. But the second game, it didn't even look like we wanted to play. Exactly what Jay Ness said. Like CP, he didn't want to play. I didn't even think he was going to play past 25 minutes. Like I kind of called it on before we even played Golden State the first time. I was all like, we're going to win the first game. We're probably going to lose our second meetup. We're coming off a back-to-back. We already broke the record. There's no point in winning this game. Let's take a break and have like a nice 3-4 day rest before we play against the Spurs again. And that's what came out of it. We just played scrimmage, and Golden State won. I'll give it to them, but they were way too pumped for that game. Like we really weren't playing that seriously. Like I was just watching it just to watch it, and like Curry still didn't have like a good game. What was he like 5 of like 20? Oh, you're mute.
8 of 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
8 of 20.
8 of 20. That's still not like good, but it's not bad either. Like he still wasn't crazy, right? And yeah, they can do all this jumping around. They can they can foul us. They can almost break Mikel's finger. It's cool, whatever. We'll see y'all Christmas, dude. Like seriously, like that game was not that serious. It's really not, because we'll see the longevity part, like all these Warriors fans getting all excited after that second win, like, oh, we got y'all number, dude. Like we weren't playing. We outplayed you that first game because we wanted to win that first game. If we wanted to win that second game, dude, it was practically tied at half. Like, what are you talking about? And like we're playing at even half of Chris Paul's speed that he typically plays at, and he already plays at half speed majority of the game.
Chris Paul put up 8 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they took that game way too seriously. It's whatever. Okay, we'll see them Christmas and we'll have their number again. And then the consensus will be just like, yeah, maybe the Suns are just fucking better. Like we are representing the West. JaVale McGee, he's still playing. Like Sham is slowly better in his role. He's taking better shots. Like by the time Christmas rolls around, like we're gonna win. All right. Like I had to argue with Golden State fans, and they started this. Wiggins is a better defender than Mikal Bridges. I don't know where that fucking came from.
Oh,
but
God.
I can't believe that's a narrative, and people were agreeing with that. And I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, watch the highlights of last season. Like Wiggins has been in the league for like 9 years, and like
he was the number 1 pick in the draft. You know what? He should be, but it took how many years for him to actually have this narrative? 8 years, 9 years, something like that. You had to be traded 3 times. Come on, man! Like, give me a break. This isn't even a question right now.
He had to make it to a team where they don't need his offense.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. His offense is a plus to this team, and I just want to say this one last thing, and then we can sort of move on. So when Klay comes back, his shooting is going to be automatic. I'm not going to argue with that. That's just him. But he obliterated his legs. He obliterated his knees. Not everybody can come back from an injury like that. And I feel like it's unfair what the Warriors fans are doing to putting all this unnecessary pressure on him to be back to his true form right out the gate. Like hasn't played in 2 years. He's going to be fatigued right away. And then like, he's not going to be playing like, at least like he's not going to play the same defense as he did before. And he's just not going to be that 3-and-D guy anymore. And I like, if any Warriors fans here, like listen to this, they got to be prepared for that, because it's not, he just tore his ACL. He tore a bunch of other things. And like, yeah, like KD is like he's an exception. Like he is one of a few that have come back from that injury.
I mean, let me jump on that point, because I think it goes beyond just Klay, but it goes to Kawhi and some of these other guys. You think you can just add a superstar player and the team is just going to be better, right? So yeah, I was thinking about this from last year's playoffs, where if you added Kawhi mid-series against the Suns, you're not going to get that same Reggie Jackson performance or Terrence Mann performance, because the ball is not going to be in their hands, right? And I think the same way is that Jordan Poole is a volume guy. He's not like a Landry Shamet type dude where he's off ball. He needs to get the ball in his hand. So I just think a superstar player doesn't mean that the rest of the players are going to be better.
I completely agree. And it's an Achilles injury. He tore his left knee up, came back, tore his right Achilles. So he's got something hampering him on each leg. I actually like Klay Thompson. I never really liked Steph Curry. I didn't like his antics. That's just me personally. If you want to like him for his shot, I totally understand that. Was never a Draymond fan either. Like, I actually liked Klay Thompson. Didn't he have one game where he scored 38 points and he dribbled the ball 4 times or something absolutely like ridiculous?
7 times or something ridiculous.
He dribbled
and that's the thing.
Like 30. Yeah.
But that's the thing, guys. I mean, when we talk about any other of these prolific stars, that have had those, catastrophic leg injuries, the Paul Georges, the Kawhi Leonards, and everybody that we can name, most of them that they have in common, the one thing they have in common is they play with the ball in their hands. They attack the rim. Yep. They do things that they need those type of ligaments necessarily. I'm not saying that the other guys don't, but you know what I mean? They need those specific ligaments to in order to really work the game. Klay Thompson, on the other hand, can stand around and not really put the pressure and things on those particular ligaments and still be dominant in a game. Like Coach said, he had a game where he put up over 30 points, and I think it was somewhere between the areas of 4 and 7 dribbles. And so, and then what you're saying, I agree. But unfortunately, again, Klay Thompson's a little bit different. This guy's going to come in and he's not going to take the ball out of no one's hand. He's not. And in fact, I think that he's going to make it easier for these guys to first when they have the ball in their hands, because they do have a deadly. It's kind of like Ray Allen when he got older. He just kind of stood around that line and, hey, if you turn your head, I'm going to shoot it. If you lag off of me, I'm going to shoot it. Like, whatever you do wrong, I'm going to shoot this ball. So I think Klay is one of those superstars that has the ability to come in and still be dangerous and not a takeaway.
True, but don't
Absolutely,
forget.
but that defense is gone though.
Don't forget.
True,
he
true,
guarded
true.
their best perimeter player too. So there's a difference to that too. And we got to see what kind of shape he is in. You got to chase him off that line now. You know what I mean? Don't fall for any pump fakes or nothing like that. Just stay to the ground, stay up top, chase him off of that line.
Make him put the ball on the floor.
And that's been the narrative of him too, right? So, I mean, easier said than done, but now you really got to put the proof to the pudding with that. I'm curious to see how it works out. I do think when James Wiseman comes back, it won't be all roses and sunshine. That's for sure when it comes back. So What's going to happen, though, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to come back his first game. He'll score 17, 18, 19, 20 points, have a few threes, look good. Just like Amari did the year he came back and then had to go back to IR when Amari dropped 20 points real quick. He's like, I'm back, dropped 12 points the next game, and then was out for the rest of the year. Like, I'm not saying he's going to go back out, but I just think he's going to come out with a bang. Everything's going to look good. Stephen A. Smith is going to be choking on Klay Thompson, for lack of better terms. And then we'll see a couple games after that how he really is. How is he going to respond to a back-to-back? How is he going to be responding to going on road trips and stuff? These are the things that we're going to see. But I also don't think he would come back unless he was 100% ready. And you saw what an Achilles did to Boogie Cousins. It ruined his career. He was done after that. He's nowhere near what he was.
I think that he will be fine during the regular season. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Why? Where that's because the regular season they can disguise it. They can do the they can do the claw. They can do the Kawhi Leonard effect. They can hit him with the we're doing a limitation of minutes, or we're doing this. He doesn't play back-to-backs, or he doesn't play on Tuesdays in Kawhi Leonard's case. I don't know what he has his own schedule, but I think they can disguise it during the season. It's the playoffs.
Facts.
When you have to play.
So what would the starting five be with Wiseman and Klay coming back? Would Wiseman start at the center position and move Draymond to the power forward?
I bet you.
No, Wiseman is so lost. Wiseman is so lost defensively, he cannot start on this team. There's no way.
Because the way Warriors fans are talking about him, they want him to start. No. So that's where I'm confused.
There's no way, dude. He's like Jalen Smith, dude. He does not know where he's supposed to be on defense.
It's going to be Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney is going to be there. Obviously, Draymond Green. And then you got to have Wiggins, Klay, and Steph. And the very first person coming off the bench is Jordan Poole. How is Jordan Poole gonna play coming off the bench, right? How are these other dudes that just happen to scorch us do with less playing time? Otto Porter. Who is the other dude?
Kamunga.
Anderson.
Toscano Anderson. The dude. Did you see that picture, by the way, dunking over JaVale, where his hand was
We
all
choked him?
over his face.
Or
It
whatever
was
it was.
all
Yeah.
over his face. So it just shows the national media narrative that they're blatantly going to post an offensive foul that wasn't called and say the Warriors just broke the Suns' 18-game streak and put the muscle emoji next to it. Like, that just shows the national media disrespect.
And where was our muscle emoji when we made the 18 game streak win? Where was our muscle emoji?
I think we got an
I didn't
eye
even see
emoji.
ESPN post it.
No, like, and that's my point, and that's to Coach's point as well. And it's not like I'm over here begging for it, because after this long of being a Suns fan and being an Arizona Cardinals fan and being a Diamondbacks fan, I don't look for it no more. I expect not to be talked about no matter what we do. So, but at the same time, when there's the Dallas Cowboys, when there's teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, when there's teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, that no matter how bad their season is, how much they're struggling, they're constantly in the media. They're constantly in your freaking face. They just hate it.
They're about views, and it's a shame that sports has become about views and not what is played between the lines. And that's a damn shame. And I got some other topics I'd like to touch on. So real quick, finishing up on some Phoenix Suns stuff. We are playing the Spurs, who just beat the Warriors, who we only beat by 4 when we played them 2-3 weeks back. It wasn't this big blowout, but it was a comfortable win, I would say. What are you guys expecting from the Spurs? I expect a hard, tough game. I think DeJounte Murray is the absolute truth. No Devin Booker is going to be tough. How is the team going to respond? We've had 2 days off. That bad taste in their mouth is there from the Warriors and all that stuff going down. JJ, I'd like to start with you. Are you expecting a win tomorrow night versus the Spurs? Is it going to be hard fought, a blowout? What do you think is going to happen, JJ?
I mean, the Spurs are probably flying high after clamping down Curry again. But I say we win. Probably another close win. I think Mikal Bridges might have a really good game, a more shooting night than a defensive night, and Pop is, he's just there. He's not really coaching like that, but. But yeah, DeJounte Murray, you always got to watch out for him. But yeah, I think this could be a comfortable win. What's our game after that? Is it a back-to-back or is it?
It's the Boston? No, it's the Boston game. We got 3 days off after this game, so we can kind of go all out.
Okay, sweet. Oh yes. So we can just leave it out on the floor, take that win, have that nice break. And yeah, just come back against Boston and, just go back on our streak again if we wanted to. But
hey, Ray, real quick, let's show love to JV. We appreciate you coming by. He is a Bears fan.
Oh,
so he's a Suns fan and a Bears fan. So we love him, and we kind of hated him today, but we love him again.
JV?
We like Fields.
We didn't hate you at all today. We went up 14 easy, real quick. We didn't hate you at all today.
We love the raincoat guy. So
raincoat. I should have used that as the thumbnail. I really should have. Keep going, JJ, on the Spurs upcoming.
No, but I say we just leave it out on the floor tomorrow. We take that win and have that 3-day break until Boston, which you're attending that game. I am peanut butter and jealous. That'll be a good game to see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum wild out. But hopefully Booker's back by the 10th. I know you want to see Booker then. I think that might be a game that he may come back. So I'm praying for you, Coach. But yeah, I say we win tomorrow, maybe by 7-8 points. The last game, they scored a lot of points in garbage time, but DeJounte Murray and that young core, they're pretty solid. I'm not trashing them. It's just a couple more years for them.
Yeah, Jane S. What do you think for this game coming up tomorrow night, 7 p.m.?
Man, so
you didn't, JV. All right, go ahead.
No, but I mean, let's not forget. There's certain teams that when we play, it's always going to be, let's get these hands, because, the history. It doesn't change anything. I still hate the Spurs. I don't care what the Spurs. I don't care if the Spurs beat down and they ain't won a game. When they come over here, I'm trying to blow them out. So I'm hoping we go out there and we treat them like that. But the Spurs are on a 4-game winning streak. They're finally got a glimpse of some positivity. I think before that they lost like 6 or 7 straight.
Right.
And the one thing about this team, it's a younger team. They pass the ball. They're second in the league in assists, and they play together as a team. And that's a Phoenix Suns, thing right now. That's what we're about. So they should be able to keep up with us and keep it competitive, because we'll probably play right into what they normally do. So I'm hoping that we get out quick. You guys might even see Chris Paul sit on this one, man. Honestly, I don't. And if he does play, I don't think he plays a lot of minutes in this game.
Interesting take, because we have really kind of yet to see that. So I'm curious how that goes. Amit, Suns and Spurs tomorrow night. What are you expecting from the Suns and the Spurs?
I'm expecting the Spurs to come out and play the way that they typically play. I think the Suns are going to. We need a big Aiden game out of this. This is an opportunity to really just kill him in the paint with McGee and Aiden. It's the Spurs, right? So we want to beat them. Like we always want to beat the Spurs.
Yeah,
and right.
They've won 4 in a row, but they're still like third from the bottom in the West. So but they're third from the bottom in the West, so they're not that good. They're not a good team.
Yeah, there's certain teams that it's kind of like a must-win with us. The Lakers, the Clips, San Antonio. If you want to
starting to get like that, no, they're starting to get like that.
I'm very curious to see Thad Young. By the way, everybody watch a little Thad game. Yeah, the recruiting game. Yeah, everybody watch a little Thad Young tomorrow night. Let's see how that all plays in. They do have dudes that can school us. How many times did we see Doug McDermott when he was in Chi-Town go off for 28 points or something ridiculous? Bryn Forbes show up, hit 6 threes against us. Devin Vassell has always played good against us. Obviously he was a rookie before. And then you got a guy like Lonnie Walker who plays good against us. DeJounte Murray is the truth. He is so good. He's averaging almost 20 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8 assists. The dude is.
Coetty's nice too.
Who's that?
Their center. What's his name?
Pirtle.
Coetty.
Pirtle.
Oh, Pirtle.
Is that his name?
Jakob Pirtle. Oh yeah. Utah Ute great that I got to see a handful of times here. No, Jakob Pirtle isn't bad. Pirtle. It is Pirtle.
No, he's good too. So it's gonna be a hard fought battle either way. And I like Johnson.
It is, yeah. I like Keldon Johnson too, but I like our Johnson. I like Cam Johnson. I like Cam Johnson. I like McHale. I like our dudes. This is a good get right game for Cam Payne, y'all. Cam Payne had a horrible game against the Warriors. I would like to see Chris Paul play under 25 minutes. This could be a good coming out game for him to come out, do what he needs to do, get up 20 plus points, and then just let Chris Paul take it home. I would like to see that happen.
I have a question,
but to Amit's point real quick, get 8 in the ball, get him 25 plus, let him do his thing, and let JaVale come in and get 10 points, 8 boards, and 3 blocks. I love Amit's point. Feed the paint and campaign.
Yeah.
JNS,
no,
yeah.
100%. So, do we need to make a trade, guys? Do you really want to see a piece moved?
Thad Young's the only guy. That and a buyout for Torrey Craig, those are the only things I'm looking at.
Robert Covington.
I would love.
You got to look. Okay,
Kaminsky's hurt.
You got to look at our depth right now. Look at what we're missing, and look at the bad teams that are just looking like they're about to get blown up. Because I saw the Spurs and Blazers game. Blazers looked atrocious, and the Spurs were on top
Horrible.
of their game. That could be a team that could get blown up at any time with a CJ McCollum. Maybe you got to take somebody else on or send somebody. I would like a Robert Covington type of player. You get Rocco on a backup 4. That would be beautiful because Rocco's playing like the least amount of minutes and points of his career so far. No, excuse me. That's Thad Young. That's Thad Young. I got both stats open. That is not Rocco. Excuse me. But look at the bad teams. Look at what they have.
He's playing at least the amount of minutes of his Portland career. His minutes are going down as well. But to your point though, bringing that side up, I can go with that, coach. I can go with a signee. I can go with adding someone that way. But if I'm looking at these trades and I've been running them through my head, we're giving up too much to add a piece that we have to rebuild the chemistry with. And honestly, our team is a well-oiled machine right now. If Saric comes back, all that's going to add to that depth in the area that we really needed. So Covington, getting him off a buyout would be like Christmas, but something like that I can work with. Thaddeus Young, even getting him on a buyout or something like that.
It's not going to work on a buyout, I don't think. I think it's going to we're going to have to give up Saric and Jalen Smith and maybe like a second rounder.
I don't want to give up Jalen, man.
That's too much for you?
We need to.
But I think
that's more than fair.
But I think Saric can give us what Thaddeus is going to come and give us.
That is a better defender.
But I don't think he's going to be ready for the
push
playoffs.
The pace more. By the time we get Dario back, it's going to be like maybe second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
we are
just
in
too
a
much
win
time
now.
lost, man.
We are in a win now mode. I can see it in that aspect.
We need size, and Dario just like he's not available, and Kaminsky isn't either. So,
would you guys take on a buyout, because it's been rumored a handful of times already? Would you guys take in the Frank Kaminsky, Thad Young role? Would you take a Kevin Love?
Of course.
Same. I don't know.
At this point, of course. Have you guys watched him lately?
Would.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched enough Cavs games. I know he's coming off the bench though.
Oh no, he looks like Kevin Love. He looks like more mobile than the last 2 years that he was healthy in Cleveland. He looks more mobile now.
I just don't know if he fits into our defensive scheme. That's my problem, because the scramble.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Right, like he can shoot the three, he can facilitate, but I don't think he can.
Plus, that dude's expensive as fuck.
I'm okay. I just looked at Robert Covington.
Dario. Yeah.
Other than for Robert Covington, other than his first year, which was only 7 games, he's averaging the least amount of points and least amount of minutes, and there's 1 year left on his deal. I'm all for Covington. I would absolutely take a Rocco type player 100%, and they're in a tailspin.
I'll go on record to say this, and people are gonna. This will be an unpopular opinion, but Philadelphia messed up when they exchanged Tobias and Covington. That was the piece to me. If Philadelphia would have kept Covington right now with this team, Covington and them would be flourishing. I personally think that's when they started messing up, because Covington has always been a guy that I've liked his game. Plays good defense. He plays tall. He plays long, and he shoots well. And so I would love to have Covington over here on this team.
Yeah, I think. But when they did that deal, that was when they still had Jimmy Butler, and I think they were thinking like, if he's the 4th guy on that team, like this makes sense, right? But then when Jimmy just straight up left, then they were fucked. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then it was like, all right, now we're stuck with this guy.
It was definitely that.
Correct.
Yeah.
There a lot of things can still happen. Fortunately, we're running a little over and we've got to end here. But I want to just remind everybody, and JNS, I want to get some guys in the ASAP Sports group on this as well, too. We are going to be having a He's on Fire bowl challenge. We're gonna throw it out to our viewers. I'd love any viewers watching coming on, anybody from ASAP Sports. We're gonna have a little bowl thing where We'll put in like 10 or 20 bucks. It's the holidays. I don't want anybody going out and going crazy for this. It'll be winner take all. No second place. Get your buy-in back. No, it's winner take all. There's 32 bowl games out there. We're just going to do a straight pick 'em with a couple choose the point spread as well too. And just want to express that to our viewers. So if you're interested, shoot a DM to me at Coach Evan B or He's on Fire Podcast or any one of my co-hosts, and we'll get in there. Jay Ness, would you like to take a part of this as well?
Yeah, I think I might have to join this one, man. I might have to go and join this one. Also, since you mentioned that, next time around, we might have to get together and set this up on the Caesar Sportsbook with sports bet book, because we actually just made a deal with them. We're going to be releasing out here soon. So,
wow.
We're going to have to do that now.
Caesar Sportbook. Yeah. Well, nothing's official, so if we need to do that, we can make that live and official through Caesar Sportbook. That would be awesome. Shout out to them. And of course, shout out to ASAP Sports Network. Always appreciating all the support and candid commentary and all the podcasts that you guys will find. but we're gonna close it out for tonight. Amit, words of wisdom.
So one thing, if we're Caesar Sportsbook now, we better get JB Smoove on this podcast, man. We got to get him on here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I would love to get him on here. I know it's never gonna happen, but it'd be awesome. Number two,
never say never.
Never say never, right? Like, who knows, right? Number two, I've seen a lot of Suns Twitter is putting out like these basketball highlights of them hooping, and it's just like, oh, let me do this little one Chris Paul shot. This stuff is trash. Go to my Twitter, the pinned tweet. You want to see some hoops at Sustainable Amit, and I'm going to keep adding more. I got some new ones from 2021, some of the other ones from a few years ago. These guys put like one video. I got like 2 minutes of hoops. Come on, man.
Check it out. I've been commenting on a few as well too. JJ, what do you got for us tonight?
Man, like I feel good, we're the first NFL team to hit 10 wins this season. We're looking great. That Rams game is going to be fun. I can't wait to watch that and, have some bragging rights, and hopefully, we go up a couple games over everybody else. But, to the Phoenix Suns fans, don't trip about that last Golden State game. We're going to get them Christmas Day. I have a really good feeling that we're going to win that. Hey, JV, your Bulls are looking really good, dude. DeRozan is balling out, and Lonzo looks fantastic. So I can't wait to see that Bulls Suns game whenever that is. I think they match up pretty well. But Arizona sports right now, football, basketball, like we're balling out right now, and everything looks great. We're coming up on Christmas. 2 great games, Colts Cards and Golden State Suns. So we're definitely spoiled for the holiday season, and I'm crossing my fingers for some Christmas jerseys this year, but whatever.
Jane S., words of wisdom.
Cardinal fans. Next week, if you're going to the game, act a fool. Make it loud. It's Monday Night Football.
Whose house? Carp's house.
Let Bird C represent like we would represent on a normal divisional game +2. Let's make the screens rattle, man. Let's represent so we can get some more of these games, man, and show these teams, not forget the teams, because the teams know they play us, but show the media what it's really about out here. That we really have diehard fans out here in Arizona that support our Cardinals, that support our Suns. They saw our Suns fans come out last year. They saw us come out. It's time for the Cardinals to come out.
Absolutely. I love that.
I'm going to be loud. I'm going to lose my voice. I promise you. My words of wisdom is going to be the same as last week, where I made a challenge to everybody on here, and JNS, you can hear as well too. It's Christmas. It's a hard time for a lot of people. Me and my family, we always do something in our community where we'll help out on our website, and we'll pick a family that we donate a Christmas tree to, some ornaments, and a present or two as well too, just to brighten up somebody else's day. I shared the story last week that when I gave the Christmas tree and stuff to the dad seemed, he was really seemed put off a little bit, like he shouldn't have to do this, but the kids were so excited and the mom was really, really, really thankful. So I challenge everybody that's listening and that participates with the podcast to go out and do something. And if you have kids, bring your kids, show them the value of it, to go do something for something else. Legitimately take time out of your day to do something for a stranger. I challenge everybody to do that in this whole month of December. Good things will come your way when you do that. And I hope everybody can just have an awesome Christmas. And I'd like to share Amit's sentiments from last week as well too. If anybody listening has any kids and has a hard time buying anything for them, please let us know. Please shoot us a DM. We will keep everything 100% quiet, and the word is escaping me, but we won't reveal your name. We won't reveal anything. We would love to help you out during this time as much as we can as well too. Granted, I know people's funds are a little tough, so if anybody can't, completely understand. But if you do have the money, find some time, carve it out, help some others so we can all have a merry ass Christmas watching the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Cardinals. And that is going to do it for this edition of He's on Fire podcast. Can you guys believe that this was episode 29? Episode 30 is coming on Wednesday. Please tune in with us. You guys have a good one. He's on Fire podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
See you guys.
And it is caught down strong. Blitz coming. Matthews. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. There he scores. It's over. It's insane. To the 4-yard line.
Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down. He puts it down. They're getting a little wobbly. But it's Adrian Chess out.